Oh, here we go.
Leaving the pavement.
Our first dirt road.
It might be the last time we see pavement for the next 5 days.
That is the 6th broken down car on the side of the road that kind of looks like it was on fire.
That is the first car that we've passed since getting on this dirt road. Oh my goodness!
Wild stuck!
What is it doing?
Hey guys!
Get out of the road! It has bullet holes in it.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. We spotted our first camel. It was in the middle of the road.
It was another car that was on fire.
Oh my gosh.
No, stay!
It's huge!
Please stay!
3 camels, a baby camel. Oh, it's so cute! It has to be days old. Not only are we in the middle of the road, but we're in the middle of Australia with camels and their babies.
What do we do?
It's like they're literally just blocking it, like, no, you can't come this way and we're not moving. They look at you straight in the eyes. Like, they are so aware of our presence and they don't care.
It's stomping. Do you think that means it's angry?
They can stand there as long as they want. It's about the journey.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
10!
11.
I think you skipped one.
12.
13! Okay. Papunya.
We have a lot of options. Oh, we're only 16 kilometers away. This is like how our parents used to travel. You had to use a paper map and then double check with road signs that you were going the right way.
Papunya, here we come!
I just can't imagine that we're about to get to a town. Woo!
I feel like I'm on a roller coaster.
We know the fate of this car.
Weird. I just received a text message and I see a building. I think we've made it to Papunya.
Civilization.
Wow. It just came out of nowhere.
It's like a little recycling project.
Cute. To be clear, this is not Australia's most remote town. It's just a town on the way.
Oh, this is gonna be a long drive. Okay, the sun is setting and it is time to find a spot to camp tonight. Oh, honestly, I am exhausted from today. Driving on these roads is no joke. You just gotta constantly be looking out for potholes, holding on to the steering wheel for dear life. It was an amazing day. It is so still and beautiful. Today is the day that we visit Australia's most remote town.
We're gonna make it.
Maybe. I think there's a good chance we're not making it. Kara, now that she's behind the wheel, is convinced that we are.
We are not stopping until we get there, except for to eat snacks.
In order to come out here through these Aboriginal communities, we had to get multiple permits to make this happen. This is remoteness on another level. We definitely don't have phone service out here, so if we do break down, we have this little GPS, but they said do not press this button unless it's life or death, because it costs a ton of money.
27.
This is so epic. I feel like I'm on safari. We are just in the Australian Outback. We haven't seen a car in almost 24 hours, and we're just hanging out with camels. This trip is truly everything I hoped it would be.
This is the first car we've passed in 23 hours. Crazy.
Oh, wow.
Pavement!
Where do we think the gas station is? Oh, here's the store. It looks closed.
Good thing we have plenty of food and water. 29. Camel crossing! Hey, bud. Did we startle ya?
We are so close. We are 10 kilometers outside of Australia's most remote town. But as you can see, the sun is setting and it felt like showing up at dark wouldn't give us the best first impression. So the plan is to camp here right outside of town tonight and head in first thing in the morning.
I would just like to point out the fact that we made it today. We could go now. You didn't think it was possible. We're here. As expected, the town feels very small.
We have not seen a single person yet.
The most remote town in Australia. Feels like the most remote town in the world.
Proof that Google was right. Kiwakura, Australia's most remote Aboriginal community. So gas in the most remote town in Australia is $2.95 a liter. Wow, so glad we came here. I'm kidding. It's been amazing. So this truck behind me is apparently the biggest tourist attraction in town. I read the sign and honestly, it was so Australian that I couldn't understand it. At some point, this truck caught on fire Definitely worth the drive to see this truck, no doubt.
No doubt. Just when we thought we were gonna leave Australia's most remote town without meeting anyone, we ran into the first of many new friends we were about to make today. Meet Brendan.
I've been working in Kara for about 3 and a bit years, doing some NDIS disability support work.
So we're standing here at the airport. Can anyone just fly out here?
It's mainly for service providers and locals, but we do have other flights that come in.
He introduced us to Ray James, who is one of the village elders. Nice to meet you, Ray James. You've lived here your whole life?
Yeah, it's my community.
Your community is here?
I live in here. Long time, many years.
Do you like living here?
What happens if there's a medical emergency out here?
So we've got a clinic in Kara, which has got a permanent nurse, and then there's a doctor that comes out, reasonably often. But if there's an emergency, there's the Royal Flying Doctors.
A school! How many kids go to school here?
There'd probably be a core of maybe like 30 or so.
High five? Yeah! They know the high five. How do you get food out here?
So I guess the shop's serviced by a truck which comes out from Alice Springs, which comes usually about every 2 weeks. If the road's not in good shape, can mean that the truck doesn't come, sometimes up to a month or so.
Nice to meet you, Ray. Thank you.
Thank you.
Then, just as we were about to leave town, we met Ed, who is an absolute legend.
I've worked here for about almost 3 years now. I do enjoy living out here. You just feel connected. As a person of European descent in Australia, it's the most connected I've ever felt to the country because of the people and because of the kindness they've shown me and connecting me to the country. So that's probably my favourite part.
Turns out, art is a pretty big deal in this little town, and we almost missed the unassuming art center. But that's where we met Tony, who's lived in town for almost 2 years, and Yalti, who is without a doubt the most interesting person we met on this whole trip.
How many years have you been painting?
Lots.
Yalti and her sister are world-famous artists. In this little studio, Yalti painted the original artwork on the Breville products that were sold around the world. Yalti?
London.
Yalti. I'm starstruck. I know what I'm asking Nate for Christmas this year. Oh man. What a day. To top it all off, I kid you not, in Australia's most remote town, we just met a subscriber who lives here. It was the cherry on top of such a great day. Like, what are the chances?
With all the people we've met today and with all of the serendipitous things that have occurred, it almost feels like this trip was meant to happen. I was gonna be happy if we came here and just got to talk to someone for 5 minutes. This trip for me, when we were planning it, was way more about the journey than the destination, but it turns out the destination was actually pretty incredible.